the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau did a study based upon mortgages that were issued between 2018 and 2022, and they found that some mortgages are underinsured based upon location. Hey guys, my name is Sandy. I'm a licensed realtor here in the Central Florida area. So we want to do a dive into, are all homes insured correctly for flooding, right? So based upon the study that was done by the CFPB and also in conjunction with FEMA, they found out that homes that are on the coastal areas are more insured, they have more insurance, and they also have more assets and more assets to recover. They found that some mortgages are underinsured also based upon the location. So if you're on the coastal, if you're on the coast, if you're by the sea, of course you're going to want to have more insurance because you know you're more susceptible for a flood. However, what they found is people that live inland that are closer to streams or rivers or excessive rainfall or storm waters are underinsured because they don't expect to be flooded. So we're in Florida and we have hurricanes a lot. I've been here since 2012. We probably being here from 2012, now it's 2025, I've probably seen maybe 5 or 6 major hurricane that came to us that actually hit us really hard from the time I've been here. And of course, if you're on the coast, so what typically happens in Florida, if you're on the coast, so if you're in Key West, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, Tampa, Clearwater, all those areas, you would move closer inland when there's a hurricane because they're going to issue a flood watch for those areas. And those people are going to have more insurance on flooding. However, if you're inland, so you're close to a stream or maybe a lake or maybe a river, you're not going to have the same insurance because the likelihood of flooding is less likely in your area. Or if it's just excessive rain that causes flooding, or maybe a big storm or a big hurricane that causes more rain, that causes more flooding, you probably end up having flooding in areas that don't typically flood. So you may not have insurance for that. So what the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is saying is, take a look as to what happened in previous years and increase your insurance, not because you're not on the coastal areas, because they're also saying people that are more inland, they have less assets, is what they're saying, to replace damages from a flood. So they're saying based upon your location, if you're on the coastal areas, those people on the coastal areas tend to have more assets to recover from a flood, even if they don't have enough insurance. And people who are more inland tend to have less assets to recover from a flood, and they also have less insurance. So it's like a double whammy, like a catch-22. So what they want consumers to be aware of is, based upon your location, if you think you're close, even if you're inland, if you think you're close to a lake, if you're close to a stream, if you're close to maybe a river, or maybe you know that certain streets flood, or the streets you live on tend to flood if there's excessive rain, sometimes there could be a backup in the drainage, right? Maybe the drainage that's in your city streets are backed up, and that may cause excessive rainwater, which will cause flooding. So they want you to take a look on what your location is, how susceptible are you to a flood, and what your insurance look like. So they're asking mortgage banks now, is what they're going to be doing, to evaluate the assets that they're covering, meaning your home, and figure out if they have adequate insurance for those properties. Because if your home flood and the insurance is not going to cover it, and you have a mortgage, the mortgage is going to also be affected. So the lender of that mortgage is going to be affected. So what lenders are going to be doing right now is they're going to be paying close attention to the FEMA map to see where your home is in conjunction to where FEMA might think the flooding might be. FEMA is also going to be updating their mapping system, believe it or not, based upon this study that came out with the CFPB, to make sure that people are adequately insured. So homeowners in coastal areas, homeowners who are inland, even though it's less, the flood risk in the southeast and central south of the U.S. is measured based upon the FEMA map. I'm just reading now something here that I wrote down to make sure I got it in the video. So, and I know that there's a discrepancy because sometimes FEMA might say, hey, you're in a flood zone, And a homeowner might say, no, I'm not in a flood zone because we never flood and the river is, or the lake or the stream is not even close to us. So we're not in a flood zone. So that's a fight because people really don't want to pay for flood insurance, to be honest. Like, insurance rates are really high to begin with. So why am I going to have to pay additionally for flood insurance if I'm not in a flood zone? And FEMA is saying, yes, you are. And we're going to keep evaluating our maps. We're going to keep rezoning our maps, believe it or not. So maybe the problem will be, maybe you bought a home and it wasn't zoned for flooding, right? It was not zoned for flooding. It was not on the FEMA map for flooding, and you never had flood insurance. You might very well, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing this video, you might very well be getting a letter in the mail saying now, from your lender, your mortgage bank, saying now we want you to add flood insurance. And what are you going to say? You're going to probably call your real estate agent. Hey, when I bought this property, you told me we were not in a flood zone. What's going on? And it's not going to be the real estate agent fault. It's going to be the reason that the map was redone by FEMA, and now they're saying, hey, based upon what we have seen in previous disasters, even though your area was never in a flood zone, we think it is. No, we don't think it is that way because of you're near a river, lake, stream, or the beach, or the ocean. We think that you're in a flood zone based upon previous years, based upon the flood waters, the excessive rain, right? The storm water. So because of the storm water in your particular area, based upon what we've seen in the past, we need you to have flood insurance. So I want you to be aware that sometimes you might be in areas that is not zoned for flooding and it's not on the FEMA map for flooding, but based upon the course of time and based upon different hurricanes that we may have gone through, or based upon different disasters, they may want you to have flood insurance. Take a look at what's going on in California, guys. I'm doing this video January 2025. Thousands of homes have been burnt down in California, and some of these homeowners are now coming into social media saying we thought we had adequate insurance, because guess what? You know how much money the insurance company is going to have to pay out now in California for all those homes? So guess what the insurance companies are going to do? They're going to find the fine print. They're going to hire analysis to go over those people's policies with a fine-tooth comb to see how they could get out of not paying out all this money to these homeowners. So you don't want that to happen to you. So if you're in Florida or any area that is susceptible to flooding at all, you want to make sure you're adequately insured. In Jamaica, I'm from Jamaica, in Jamaica there's a saying that says it's better for you to have an ounce of safety than a pound of stupidity, right? And they don't say it like that, but I'm paraphrasing it because you won't understand. And I don't want to speak Jamaican language in the video. So what I'm saying is it's best for you, if you get a letter from your lender, guys, and it says, hey, now we want you to have flood insurance, just go ahead and get the flood insurance. And sometimes flood insurance is really not that much more. I know you're saying, Sandy, what are you talking about? Interest rates are high, mortgage payments are high, insurance rates are already high. What are you talking about? We need to get flood insurance. Maybe you should, because you don't want to get to the point of woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Oh my gosh, I got a letter and I should have done it, but I didn't. Or you get a letter and you decide to sell, right? Because you're like, I'm not getting no flood insurance. I'm just going to sell the house. Guess what? The next house you move to, you might get the same letter. So be on the lookout that your lenders, because of this study, I'm pretty sure they're going to push mortgage banks and lenders to look closely into where their assets are located, meaning your homes, and to find if they need flood insurance. And you may get that letter in the mail saying, hey, we need for you to have flood insurance. And if you don't take it out, we will take it out. Guess what? You better go take it out. Don't let the lender take it out, because they're just going to get the worst insurance rate they could possibly get. So you don't want that. And if they get it, they're going to just put it in your escrow account and just increase your monthly mortgage payment. So you may as well go and get it. And if you get it yourself, you could still have the lender pay it. But you want to go shop it yourself to make sure you have the correct ones that you need. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to keep doing different videos like this. Make sure to like and subscribe to us so you could see whenever another video is being posted. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.